take us, but now where to take us, believe it, believe it. They try to break us, but now where to break us, believe it. Better believe it. 2024, we are here in the studio putting in work, figuring it out. What's the strategy? How we're going to execute it? Who's your team? Feliz Navidad. Happy New Year to everyone. And anybody who's watching this right now, I know you got a lot of things on your mind. And it's time to get to work. We are on the set. We are here. Shout out to T and the stylist. So we're here. This is what we're looking like. What are you looking like? Time is going by fast. It's going by very, very fast. And it's going by so fast that you sometimes don't want to blink, because when you do, you know you miss some type of a moment. Is it healthy? No. Is it necessary? Yes. How many are actually going to do it this year? Hopefully everybody that watches this, hopefully everybody who watches this realize that, yes, we all have 24 hours in a day, but you don't supposed to exhaust yourself to the point where you're not able to do for everything else in your life. And we catch ourselves draining ourselves to keep up and to feel as if I'm working and I'm just showing and going, that I'm actually doing something important. And just because you're being consistent doesn't mean that you're doing something that's actually important. People out there are going to try you. They're supposed to try you. We know that. Going into the new year, how are you going to strategize when people tried you? When people push your buttons? What are you going to do? How are you going to navigate? How are you going to pivot? When things happen. Think about all the people that tried to break you. And that's what I mean when I say they tried to break us, but now we're the breakers. Now we're breaking the rules. We're bending the hell out of things. We're taking things to the next level. That is... Everybody's in a rush to see immediate results. Well, what about the results in the next 50 to 100 years? What about what you're doing right now that's going to contribute to the betterment of mankind? Is it enough? If people aren't able to get the results, they're usually folding and giving up on it. Remember when people are going through things that have nothing to do with you. But remember, they tried to take us. And guess what? Now we're the takers. We're live on set and we're figuring out our things and we're figuring everything out. It's a new year, man. 2024. What's going on? People tried to shake me. People done tried me. People done pushed my buttons. People done tried to knock me on my square. People tried to talk to me as if I wasn't who I was. I had to sit back and deal with that half the time. I had to sit back and chew it. I had to eat it. You want to know what it feels like to get shot at and not shoot back? I've seen it on both sides of the fence. We're live on set. We're going to commercial break. And the 333 project is on the way. The Lost Boy project is on the way. I know you're asking, 2 projects? Yes, 2 projects. I love music and creators, and I want you to have a studio, but I don't want the studio to have you. That's why you need to get in contact with Summer Entertainment to make sure you do this right the first time. These guys are officially unapologetic. They will help you get on a smarter studio budget plan because they're committed to doing what's right for the sole purpose of that project. That means that we're constantly checking in daily to make sure that you're getting what you said you wanted to get done. They'll show you what equipment that is beneficial for what you need to get done, because sometimes we struggle with what we want versus what we need, and that will now be a thing of the past going forward. In a nutshell, these guys actually care. That's why we call them Governor Trusted. Those thoughts that you have in the back of your head, let's finally get them out to the world. And the good folks at Summerlight Entertainment is here to help. Give them a call. Reach out. And congratulations. You're one step closer to getting the rest of the world to see what you're thinking. I'll see you guys in the studio. Peace. 2024. 2024. What's different about it? You tell me. What's different about this year than what you did last year? Are you going to give what you love more time? Are you going to think about what you want to do? Are you going to pick up a random hobby? Are you going to try something new every month? That's pretty dope, right? Try something new every month. Give yourself a chance to experience. And I mean, it could be the slightest things. You could have a donut that you just try. Oh, wow, I'm going to go to this bakery once a month. Try a donut. Shout out to Peter Pan's Donut Shop. Amazing donuts. You have to invest in yourself this year. And this may be your breakthrough year of you finally being able to say, hey, I'm going to do some things for myself for once. Hey, I'm going to try these things. I know I never did it before. I want to try it anyway. Give yourself some time. Give yourself grace. Give yourself time. Give yourself grace and favor to be able to experience things. I know that is not catching. I know that the microphone's not catching that. But it's annoying as fuck to hear it in the background, just so you know. The alarm's going off. Like, you know, I think that from Christmas coming into the new year, you start thinking about, after you done spent all the money, you start thinking about, what am I going to do? How am I going to put back into the business? How am I going to contribute? Who am I contributing with? What do I want to do? How do I want to go about it? You know, people start thinking about their weight. People start thinking about different obstacles and different things that they want to actually get done. And, you know, ask yourself, you know what I'm saying, even more now, like, what do you want to get done? How do you want to go about things? You know, who you want to do it with, you know, and really give yourself a real goal. You'd be surprised how many of us that I know don't have anything else to do once they get off of work. Maybe they may go to a happy hour. Maybe they may have a drink. Maybe go have a little date. Spend a little bit more money than they're supposed to. But then usually they're right back home in the zone, alone, like out the way. And I never knew that there was such a large community, because I'm at home I'm at home with a woman. So it was somebody for me that I didn't realize that men and women dealt with this going to work, doing their job, maybe hang off for a little bit, and then after that, it's like they go back home, they in their zone, They alone and they do what they got to do. And it's like no other things that they do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they may go to a little play here and there, but the hobby, where's the hobbies? There's things that commercial. If you're like most creators, then being original is one of your most valuable assets. And once you're ready to make huge improvements, it can feel as if everything costs too much or just takes too long. But something as simple as updated headshots from some law can separate you from what everyone else is still doing. Those you have industry standings with recommended some law for years, so you know the job's gonna get done successfully and at a low cost. Especially when those extra dollars have to go to something else in the budget like lighting, aerial shots, and literally almost everything that's labeled in-house studio requirement. With free consultation, you can ask questions that can assist with what makes the most sense. Once you're not able to think about the financial factors, the creative process becomes easier to complete, and that's why some law is one of the best and one of the most affordable on the East Coast. Plus, no misleading quotes, no hidden fees, everything backed up, satisfaction guaranteed. Come see why Some Law Company is one of the most connected, and now protect what's worth protecting. And I'll see you guys in the studio. Peace. Believe it. Believe it. You have to believe. There's no other way around it. If you are not believing in what you got going on, please don't expect nobody in the world in 2024 to take you serious. I'll let last year's shots definitely pass. We're going to keep 2023. We can let that slide at least until summertime. But summertime, once spring is over, that's it also. Get your headshots up to date. Get your EPKs up to date. Get your EPKs started. Get to work. Start showing people what you're made of. And I mean, really start showing people what you're made of. Start really showing what's going on out there. I mean, please believe we are in an industry that is filled to the brim with a bunch of unrealistic who think that their is going to age like wine. I'm sorry to inform you that it's not. You have to stay consistent. You have to continue to nurture. You have to continue to implement and plant and grow and push. Even on days when you don't feel like doing you still have to get up and push. Push. Pray until something happened. Well, we didn't just pray. Pushed until something happened. Yeah, we pushed against it, definitely. Defining success is not easy, guys. But you have to continue to put in work. Show consistency. Show that you actually mean this. Show that you actually want it. Because believe it or not, there's somebody out there who wants it more than you. If that's the case, then figure out what you're great at. You know, somebody responded And shout out to them as well. I wish I remember Trap Work, I believe. And he was asking, yo, why do you need another podcast of somebody just telling people what they should already know to do something like that, or what they should be doing? Because believe it or not, you'd be surprised. A lot of people have the ideas, Governor, and then people still aren't able to implement their ideas. I don't get it myself, but I'm saying you're not able to even lock in with your own ideas. If you're looking for ways to update your electronic press kit without blowing the budget, figured it out for you. For years, we've been figuring it out here at Some Law Entertainment. As a music artist, I get that we all have humble beginnings and all start from somewhere that made us passionate about expressing what's inside. Some Law and Company makes it simple to get those necessary industry standard headshots, aerial images, as well as candid moments from a space that doesn't require you to be anyone but yourself. With Some Law, there's no need to continue putting out those parts of your project that could change your life and others for an eternity. We all need different perspectives to each project to see if it moves at full capacity. Look, we're at the end of 2023, and those headshots you have from COVID are now a thing of the past. Reach out to us. Quite sure there's always something that we can be worked out. So for photo shoots, headshots, aerial images, video, as well as music production, do not wait any longer. What's the worst that can happen? Is that something's gonna actually happen, all right? Peace. What's the look they're gonna have on their face? Huh? What's the look they're gonna have on their face? Are they gonna be smiling? Are they going to be with their head down in disappointment? Are they gonna look in disgust? Are they gonna be amazed? Are they gonna be surprised? Are they gonna be astonished? That's up to you. That's really up to you. I know we would normally say, yo, we don't have control over people and they're gonna be how they're gonna be. But recognizing your greatness in public and or in private is still an accomplishment. It's still an achievement. It's still worth talking about. Continue to be worth talking about. A lot of people aren't worth talking about anymore. And those that are being talked about have something going on that the 95% of the rest of the world just don't. And you'll probably say, yeah, Governor, that's a high number. And I'll say, is it? A lot of people have ideas and still are not able to get their thoughts out. Now, I don't know what's worse. You tell me. Being able to be the average Joe, have a job, go to work, get off of work, go home, Netflix, video games, maybe a significant other, do a couple of things here and there, and repeat. Versus those who have all these ideas but still have a job, not able to get their thoughts out, navigating through life with all these amazing things that could build themselves and other people's, and that has to be worse. It just has to be worse. It has to be worse. There's nowhere in the world you're gonna tell me that I'm gonna be able to be walking around with all these amazing ideas in my head, not finding ways to implement it, and let it just, and then I get old and it just dies in my head. That's torture. All you creatives in this new year, fix that. Fix it. Fix it. What is it? Trying something, believing, doing. Sometimes you have to do the total opposite. Sometimes you have to do the total opposite. To get better results. Sometimes you have to do the total opposite. Now, even though you're doing the total opposite, that still doesn't mean that you disrespect or you interrupt your internal integrity clause. That contract you have with yourself, you don't conflict that. We're going to continue to talk about that internal integrity clock, that internal integrity contract you have with yourself. That word integrity, I tell you, it really make you think, because a lot of people aren't navigating with integrity. A little pity. And when you sit back and you look long enough at how they talk, how they're communicating, how they're being perceived out there in the world, the excuses that they make, the not looking at themselves in the mirror long enough, anybody who's lying to themselves going into the new year should be shamed. There's no other way of looking at it. You going into this space of not figuring out, and listen, we're all human. That's what we would say, right? But half-stepping, when did it become so easy to half-step? When did it become so easy to disrespect protocol? So many. Enough. And listen, if that's the case, if you're going to disrespect and interrupt your internal integrity contract, it's best you do that away from everybody that's right on their square, because what you don't want to do is inconvenience yourself any further than you already have or than you already did. Respect for yourself, first and foremost, is the first. That's why it's first and foremost. It's the beginning of everything. I don't want to hear that you got mad love and loyalty and respect for anybody else if you don't have the same amount for yourself. This is where we're at now. This is what the new year is bringing. And it's like, yo, wait. It's going to be like, yo, wait. So this is what you're going to be doing? Telling people to get their shit together? Yes. In several different ways. Sometimes in stories. Sometimes in real life situations that's happening. Sometimes some of my old songs. Just things that are actually happening and or happened that just hasn't been discussed. I haven't heard it yet. So I was talking to a partner of mine and we was talking about figuring out he had a $901,000 budget, maybe $1,200. And he was asking what's the first thing to get started with. And of course, you know, I mentioned the Rodecaster Pro 2. I believe as far as lighting and cameras, there was things that you could also work around, but when you look at a budget and you get asked, what would you do with this money if this was the thing you want to start doing, and how you start navigating? Now, I said the Rodecaster Pro 2 because I know that he can get himself set up. He can always push the record button and still get the thoughts out, because audio is very, very important. And he has a lot of equipment already. He just missing a couple of components. So I believe that that will go perfect to the microphone that he would connect to. Now, it's about passing that information, and thanks to technology, we're able to even share a whole lot more than we usually would. A whole lot more than we usually would. And knowing that he would be able to do this, and then maybe a light here, and I think he was good as far as backdrop, but we was able to break down his budget to around $900. Now, when you have a $1,200-$1,500 budget and you was planning on spending it totally different, and we ended up getting the necessities, knowing what you have already. And that's what we guys need to know. We need to know when you're building these things, what are the things that you are working on? What are the things that you have? And then you can have the others say, hey, you're missing this. You need this. If you have a good computer, you have a good microphone, you got a decent camera, you have a Rodecaster Pro 2, you got one good light, I think you're onto something. You have these programs that you can use. Get yourself an Adobe Creative Cloud, get yourself upgraded program, get yourself at least premium, and get going with it. And when you come up with a budget, doesn't matter what it is, and some guys think that they need thousands and thousands and hundreds and whatever. Sometimes you only need to spend this amount. You could come with this, or you could have this, because that's no one's business, but at least be prepared and come with what you already have, so we know what we could implement into the equation. Now, that's a strategy, and that's how you execute, and that definitely takes a team. And that T sometimes stands for technology, and that T also sometimes stands for time. And I can go on with T's, but shout out to my T. And we are live on set, and we are figuring it out, and we will be back, or we will definitely be back. Believe that. Looking for ways to update your electronic press kit without blowing the budget? Finally figured it out for you guys. For years, we've been figuring it out here at Some Law Entertainment. You know, as a music artist, I get that we all have humble beginnings and all start from somewhere that made us passionate about expressing what's inside. Some Law & Company makes it simple to get those necessary industry standard headshots, aerial images, as well as candid moments from a space that doesn't require you to be anyone but yourself. With Some Law, there's no need to continue putting on parts of your creativity that could change your life and others for an eternity. We all need different perspectives to each project to see if it moves at full capacity. So why not get started now and see where it takes you? Look, we're in the end of 2023, and even those headshots from COVID begin to be a thing of the past. Reach out to us. Quite sure there's something that we can always work out. What's the worst that can happen? Is that something's going to happen. I'll see you in the studio. Yes, welcome live back on set. We are live on set with Irv. It's me. We're here. 2024. And yes, I heard you guys. I got the text. I got the calls. The lights, the trees, the Christmas decor will be removed eventually. Trust and believe that. We are in the new year. And you know what? We're still very, very festive, believe it or not. And if I need to, if you don't mind me asking, when do you guys take down your tree? I know some people put their tree up for Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving. Some put it up after Thanksgiving. Some put it up. Some keep it up. When is a good time to take the lights down? When's a good time to take the tree down? Is it New Year's Day? Some people leave it up. When is it? You let me know in the comments. I need to know. I could Google, I could right now, but you know how that go. We're live on set. We're figuring out what's the next step, what's going on. I'm going to eventually be releasing and getting the people on, because now we're gonna get into finally talking about what people are actually doing, what people are actually investing in. You're not just gonna hear my mouth every time, but these individual moments, like I told you, it's important because it's who? Me and you guys. You can just continue to do about any and everything that you're doing and still have this playing in the background, because sometimes you just need someone to tell you to get the up off your ass, right? And sometimes you're gonna need somebody that's gonna say harsh to you, and they can be like, yo, if you're on this channel, on this site, on this page, to only look for those people that's gonna be like, hey, yeah, you can do it. There's people that's gonna be on this page that's gonna be like, yo, I wanna see him fail at it. Some people may wanna see you fail. Now, I know that's a tough pill to swallow, right? Like, wait a minute. How you my friend, right? How I'm connected with you? How am I associated with you? Why am I following you? And you don't even want to see me win. Imagine me following somebody that I don't respect. Or imagine me following somebody who don't want to see me win, who don't want to see me prosper, who don't want to see me navigate and take it to the next level, who don't want to see me feed the homeless, who don't want to see me get out the door early enough to be able to walk through the door with coffee and educate these kids, who don't want to see me be on the right side of the track, who want to see me f***ed up, incarcerated, mentally stuck, not knowing how to navigate, not knowing how to take care of other people, not knowing how to take care of self. Some people are waiting to see you fold. So many people want to see you fold. And because they don't have the formula to win, they don't want to see you win either. They don't want to watch you prosper and do amazing things and just be how they say, a beacon of light. They don't want to see you win. Some are going to try to pick your brain until they can pick no more. Even when you give the information, it doesn't mean that they are still going to do something right with it. So give it away. Give them the information. And sometimes, you catch yourself giving information to people and they don't do nothing with it. Then that goes right back to the supermarket. Walk into the supermarket, go into the bread aisle. Look at all the different types of bread. It's all bread. It's all bread. All different types of bread, different ingredients, different packaging, different factories, different drivers, all that. All different. Now, if you walked into the bread aisle and it was only just one type of bread, that means that there was only one idea. There's all different types of everything. Just because you're given the idea doesn't mean you still can't do something with the idea. Clear? Just because you gave an idea doesn't mean you can't do something with the idea also. You could also go into the kitchen. You can start baking. You could bake bread. You could bake bread at home. You can bake bread. You can make it. You could add the active dry yeast. Put a little pinch of that, a little bit of that ginger in there. Watch it. Add the right amount of water and watch it rise. Watch it become active. Start making your bread. Bake it at your discretion. Add your designs and whatever you choose to do. You decide to sell it, figure it out and package it up. Put it in the same stores that other people's ideas are in. Put it in the same shelves that other people's ideas are in. Deliver to the same locations that other people's ideas are in. That doesn't stop you. You're around music artists, that doesn't stop you from making music. You're around photographers, doesn't stop you from taking pictures. You're around chefs, doesn't stop you from cooking and eating. You're a mastermind. You're around masterminds. Shouldn't stop you from being a mastermind. Be it. A lot of people are faking it until they make it. And it's just best that you be it until you see it. Look in the mirror. We're live on set. Irv. If you're like most creators, then being original is your most valuable asset. And when you're ready to make huge improvements, it can feel as if everything costs too much or it takes too long. But something as simple as updated headshots from some law can separate you from what everyone else is still doing. Those you have industry standings with recommend some law for years, so you know the job's going to get done successfully and at a low cost. Especially when those extra dollars got to go to something else in the budget, like lighting, aerial shots, photo shoots, everything else that's studio requirements. Hit us up. Free consultation. Ask your questions. Maybe we can assist with what makes sense. Once you're able to think about the finances, the process of the project goes so much more smooth. Look, we're at the end of 2023. So for your photo shoots, headshots, aerial imagery, video, as well as musical production, don't wait any longer. Come see why we're one of the best recommended on the East Coast. Protect what's worth protecting. And I'll see you guys in the studio. Peace. Yes, we're back live on set, pushing the buttons, figuring it out. And I know you guys are doing the same exact thing. You guys know what I'm gonna say. You guys have a few more months of those pictures from 2023. It's time to get updated. Your electronic press kit, reach out. Let us assist you on getting up to date for the new year. It's a new year. It's a new time. It's a new day. It's a new everything. It's a new sound. So don't be looking like last year. Don't be smelling like last year. All right, well, the colognes I have, you can get away with it. Shout out to the cologne lovers. I know that a lot of my students are already gonna be like, "Yo, some luck, can I get my little line them up real quick?" You know what I'm saying? Know some of my boys already gonna be in the classrooms, like getting pull up on Mr. Something. I'm just gonna walk around with it because I know they're gonna walk around and be like, "Yo, let me get a little bit of that." Everybody gonna want to smell good today. Everybody gonna want to smell good in the classrooms. Everybody want to smell good at their table. It's funny, I'm glad that I have young 5th graders, 4th graders, 3rd graders, 2nd graders, 1st graders, kindergartners that are ready to say, "Yo, I want to smell good. Hey, I want to smell like that all day. Let me get a little bit of that." They can just smell themselves. Ooh, feel good. There ain't nothing like feeling good. Ain't nothing like getting dressed. And speaking about getting dressed, shout out to our stylists. Shout out to the stylists. So a lot of the shirts that you see are inspired, by some amazing thinkers. She's an amazing thinker. Tanya, shout out to Tanya Gunther. She really, really sees nice material, nice things, and just know pretty much, what I like to throw on, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to her. Shout out to everybody out there who's styling, figuring out the next level of what they plan on doing with themselves. Shout out to all the live event planners and people who's just in live events. Guys, I know it's not easy. I know it's a struggle. I know that sometimes when you're doing these things and you're doing these projects, it's not going to always work out how it's supposed to. That's life. And I've told this person that I know by the name of one time, it was like small things to a giant. Small things to a giant pretty much mean that as someone who think big, sometimes these small hiccups in business and life, in relationships, these little things are gonna happen. It's supposed to happen. Anybody who's become successful and hasn't gone through any type of moisture, no type of shit, or really is not as successful as you think. See, in business, when you become successful, everybody say, "Hey, congratulations," right? Congratulations. But nobody knows. It's like becoming successful is really like getting pregnant. It was like, "Hey, congratulations, congratulations. You finally figured it out, you're finally rich." But nobody knows how many times you had to get in the process to make this thing come to life. Day in and day out. Gotta deal with coming through the cracks, coming up, falling through. It's almost right there. Things not working out. People are not as prepared as you think. That's life. That shit happen regardless. But it's still small things to a giant. Still small things to a giant. Because I'm put here. I'm designed to think big all the time. I'm conditioned to think big, to think grand, to think next level, to always be figuring out another way, because that's how I'm conditioned. And it's all good with peeping themselves too, you heard me? Because when you look at a lot of people, you're gonna realize that they are not as authentic as you would expect them to be. They not as authentic as you would love for them to be. They are not as authentic as they wish they could be. That has nothing to do with you. How people treat themselves and others have nothing to do with you. We know this game is filled to the brim with a bunch of unrealistic people, right? We know what's gonna happen. Time is gonna go by. They're gonna look in the mirror and see themselves getting the lines and say, oh my God, time is not on my side. Time is not on anybody's side. But doing it to your heart content is pretty much all you can offer, because anything that you do is still going to be giving back. It's still a service. It's still servicing people. This is service. For some people, this is going to feel like church. For some, it's like, oh, here this go again. Here this guy go again, telling people to get themselves together while getting himself together. While 7 credits away during the spring 2024 semester, and in June, I could say, this is one thing I want to accomplish. I told myself with every degree that I get, I was going to celebrate it. If you have a high school diploma, go get it. Find it. Should be close, right? You're organized, right? Get your high school diploma. And when you go to bed, take it to bed with you. Remember all the work that it took. All the highs and lows, all the people that came before you that gave up, that dropped out, that didn't make it. To get your associate degree. Sleep with it, because you think about the work that you put in. Think about the work, the life, the experiences, the death, the people that was alive, the people that wasn't here to see you get this far. If you have your GED, go to bed with it. Think about all the time. Think about what you had to put in. And that goes along with your bachelor's and your doctorates. That go on with all of your degrees. When I got licensed to operate drones, man, take that with you. Lay down with that. Lay that next to you and think about the hours I studied. I could also get a job as a meteorologist, because the first thing I do when I wake up is look at the weather. When people say, hey, they want to work, they want to get these work, they want to do this job, I got to look at the weather. You can't say you want to do drone work. It's going to rain for the next 2 days. So you could do other things. You could be indoors. You could do certain things. What I'm saying is, guys, you can do things. You're able to still navigate and figure these things out. And sometimes it's going to be like, yo, dog, sometimes you're just running, you're going. Yes, I am. I'm going. I'm going with the flow. I'm figuring it out. It is one of the hardest tasks to just keep on going, even when you don't feel like it at times. Sometimes people out there trying to find out what is it that's going to make you break. What is it that's going to make you fold? What is it that people need to see of you to forever be convinced? The answer to that question is you staying focused. Right hand's itching. My nose is tingling. It's you staying on your path. Sometimes you're gonna have to sit there with yourself for hours. And sometimes you're gonna be with people, and sometimes you're not. And how you treat yourself is going to be the determining factor of where you're going. And remember what I told you as far as get out of your own way. I could help you, but this is your fight. This is your time to navigate and get to the next level. This is your time to reflect and say, yo, I'm ready to do this. I'm going to try this now. I'm going to implement these new things that I've never tried before into my life to see what a difference brings. 7 more credits for me, y'all, and I'm a graduate. Shout out to Toro College. This is eye-opener for me because I've been on the grind for a minute. And anybody who knows me knows that my hands are in everything. So with staying in school, with working in the studio, working on different projects, working on this show, working with lighting, studying lighting, cameras, sliding, doing all of these different things, still pushing others, helping my friends how to read and write as adults is a humbling, amazing feeling. It's an experience, and everybody's not built to be able to do things like this. To help your adult friend learn how to read and write. Shout out to all my classmates that I have in each one of my classes. In all of my classes, shout out to each and every one of you guys that I am in school with, that I've been in class with. Shout outs and blessings and New Year's to your families and any and everybody who gave me a good word of encouragement or just gave me a smile and was like, yo, that's a good answer, yo, good job. I salute you guys, and I hope that you guys are doing just as amazing as I feel. And I mean that because, you know, we sat in speech and we had to do the tip of the T and tip of the tongues, and we had to do all of these things from way back coming up, and still this is what speech is all about. This is what speech will do. I believe it's Professor Bartwell. This is what speech will do. Speech will make you stand up in class and speak to everyone. Speech will make you speak up for yourself. Speech will make you now be on a platform and speak even when you don't even have anything specific to talk about. It's basically getting up into the know and letting everybody know this is a new year. This is go time. There's nothing else that you could do for anybody else. It's about you right now. It's all about you. And the quality of your living is based entirely upon your ability to play the game. You better play this game. We're live on set. In the next episode, we will continue to figure out how to strategize. Guests will be on here. We will be here. We will be here. Love yourself first and foremost. If you ain't loving yourself first and foremost, if you ain't being you to the fullest, you're really not being beautiful. You're probably just being an itty bitty and not content with who you see in the mirror. Go look in the mirror. Pull your phone out. Do a selfie. Do a self-check on yourself. Check on your loved ones. And anybody that you're following, that you're subscribed to, that's not telling you that you can be better than yesterday, you don't need them for tomorrow. We're live on set. Irv, I love you. You better love me. If not, at least tolerate it enough to put your life into action. Action!